We have a serious topic to talk about today, CoastLife fans, and this one touches a lot of people that you may know. We're talking about the Big C. We're talking about cancer, specifically the Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition, and for that we have Meridith Rothstein in here. Meridith, you are a survivor. You're part of this organization. What is it that you guys do to try to help other people going through this process?
We do our best to be their number one support. We are there for them from screening to diagnosis while they're in treatment and while they're in recovery and what we call survivorship.
That's incredible. And you guys have really a resource coming up with an event that people can tune into via Zoom. And I think education and tools, the resources that you guys have is one of the biggest things that a patient can put in their toolkit to get through this ordeal. So tell us about the Zoom event that you have coming up.
Our upcoming 27th annual Breast Cancer Update is happening on Wednesday the 14th. And so it provides the opportunity for anyone who tunes in, and it can be survivors, it can be family, it can be medical professionals, to hop on and hear the latest and greatest of what's going on in our state as well as nationally with the treatment, diagnosis, treatment, and genetic research, all different things for breast cancer.
Now, I know that your experience with this malady didn't take place here in Delaware, but you've been through it. You understand what it's like. How important is it to have resources and a support system around you as you're trying to overcome this?
When you hear that word or those words, you've been diagnosed with breast cancer, you kind of get tunnel vision and you look at, I'm the only person going through this, and they're not. And you need to know that there are other people feeling like you are, people who are afraid, people who don't know what decision to make. And while we don't make the decisions for them, we provide them with all the options, education, resources, both here in the state of Delaware as well as the surrounding states, and just to not feel alone.
Yeah. So what are some of the big talking points that people are going to be going through with this update?
Well, we are going to be talking about genetic testing. The big topic that we're going to be talking about at this breast cancer update, Delaware has the unfortunate distinction of being number one in the country for triple negative breast cancer in women of color. And the issue with triple negative breast cancer, we want to find it as early as possible because the further on it goes, the harder it is to treat.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, it's disheartening to hear, I think, from Delaware, but I think having access to education, knowledge, tools like this is going to be huge for anybody to learn. I mean, like you said, it doesn't have to be a patient, somebody who's dealing with breast cancer themselves. This is going to be a good opportunity for anybody. So how can people get involved and join this Zoom?
If you log on to our website, which is debreastcancer.org. There is a link right at the top of the website. It is free to anyone. You'll receive a Zoom link. You'll be able to participate in a question and answer series. We are going to have a chef demo. We have a chef that works with me. We have a couple of cooking programs.
Nice.
And so she works regularly with me on that, and she's going to present a healthy recipe, and she's also a breast cancer survivor as well.
Awesome.
Let me ask you this. So if you're somebody that just cares about this cause, maybe you know somebody that's been through it, whether you've been through it, how do you give back if you want to? Is there any way to support people going through this and to support the coalition?
There are many ways to get involved and support people who are going through this journey. Anyone is welcome at the breast cancer update. Now, someone who's going through breast cancer, we have training that you can go through to support those who are going through it. We have lots of resources, and it's important to, so often you hear, don't cry. It'll be okay. We want them to cry. It's a mourning, it's a changing of their life, and sort of like I liken it to rising from the ashes like a phoenix.
Yeah.
You go through all of this, and you, at the beginning of the journey, you see this long journey, and they say chemo, they say radiation, major surgery, and then at the end, we're going to do another surgery. And it's so daunting, but when you finally walk out the other side, yes, you have to keep screening and be aware, but it's life-changing for me. I mean, my life is completely different than before I was diagnosed now.
I think what you said there is really important because you do have to feel those feelings. You don't want people to discount the way you're feeling and telling you not to feel that way, because it's very serious.
It's very serious and it's scary, and as I mentioned before, knowledge is power. So if you have questions, then you need to ask them and you need to be heard. And you know, we as survivorship specialists, there are 7 of us, any of us will go with you. We're happy to be the second ear. I have been put on the spot to, Meridith, is there anything we're missing? My patients will ask me in front of the doctor, and sometimes I have things, sometimes I don't. It just depends on what they're covering. But the number one thing I would say is support. Support them. I know that you as a supporter are scared. We're all scared. Anytime we hear that 6-letter word, it invokes panic in anyone who hears that word. And so it's super important to recognize that you're scared, but also know the person going through it needs that support.
Yeah, well, it sounds like this update is going to be a great opportunity for people to get that knowledge, which of course is power, and ask their questions, get in touch with you guys. So can you give us the details one more time of the update and how people can log in?
Okay, the Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition's breast cancer update is free to everyone. It is on Wednesday the 14th of this month. And it is from 8 a.m. to noon, and registration is available on our website, which is debreastcancer.org.
Fantastic.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for sharing a little bit about your story and what you guys do. We really do appreciate it. If you're somebody out there that has questions, make sure you log into this Zoom. I think it's going to be very helpful, very informational.
Of course.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Coming up, though, on CoastLife, we still have some more to get to. More CoastLife that you're not going to want to miss is on the way.